back to another episode of Talking Sports with DP. And we back again with the UFL, you feel me, the Week 7 review, you feel me. Last weekend, we had some good games, some interesting games, and some games that will darn near put you to sleep. But with that being said, we're going to get into that first game. The Arlington Renegades get their first W of the season against the Memphis Showboats. Arlington Renegades win 47-23. Shout out to Arlington Renegades, man, for getting y'all first W. Because I knew y'all wasn't the worst team in the league. Just because y'all had some kind of offensive consistency each week. Even though y'all wasn't able to get the win, a lot of times y'all fell short by a little bit of points. But the Memphis Showboats, on the other hand, has been getting embarrassed week in and week out. And always try to come through in the end and put up a little bit of points. Some little, petty points, some little respect points. I guess you could say that. But with that being said, we got our passing leader for the Memphis Showboats. We had two quarterbacks that played in this game because I think Troy Williams went out with an injury because they were steady letting the quarterback get sacked and pressured and hit and hurt, and all that good stuff. But Troy Williams, 14-27 on the day, 127 passing yards and 1 touchdown. And Case Cook also went out there 11 for 17, 103 passing yards and 1 touchdown. So both quarterbacks was able to get touchdowns and stuff, but a lot of this happened in the second half, mainly in the fourth quarter and garbage time. But passing leader for the Arlington Renegades, my boy Luis Perez, 27 for 32. 296 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. Shout out to Luis Perez, man. Luis was really in his bag this game, you feel me? He felt comfortable out there. He was looking through all his reads and progressions. He was getting whatever he wanted out there, man. Slinging that thing, moving out the pocket when he needed to, finding an open man, building extra time, sometimes even being his own blocker if he needed to be, you feel me? Shout out to Luis Perez getting his first W, man. He been playing good all year. He the league leading passer, you feel me, man. He's still showing it week in and week out. Finally got a W to prove his work, you feel me. So shout out to Luis Perez. We got the rushing leaders, man, for the Memphis Showboats. We went back with that quarterback stuff again. Troy Williams, 6 attempts, 34 yards and a touchdown. And Davion Smith for the Arlington Renegades. Arlington finally was able to run that ball. Even though Memphis Showboats been letting everybody run on them because they trash. I ain't gonna need much cap with you. Them boys trash right now. They ain't even stopping nobody. And it surprised me that they this trash. But with that being said, Davion Smith, 14 attempts, 101 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Way to go, Davion Smith. Davion was toting that thing, man. He was running people over, dog. Anytime he hit that hole, he burst through that thing and was trying to get to the end zone every single time. Shout out to Davion Smith for finally putting on a good run display for the Arlington Renegades. In receiving leaders, we got that boy Daywood Davis, 7 receptions, 83 yards, and a touchdown for the Memphis Showboats. And Sal Cannella for the Arlington Renegades got 9 receptions, 72 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Shout out to Sal, man. Way to do your thing. Defensive leaders for the Memphis Showboats, we got Lamont McFadder, number 23, had 8 tackles. And Anthony Butler, number 50 for the Memphis Showboats, had 7 tackles and 1 tackle for loss. Boom. Arlington Renegades. Defensive leader, we got a Gene Harris, cornerback, number 5, with 8 tackles, 1 PBU, and Markel Lee, linebacker, number 25, for the Arlington Renegades with 7 tackles. Now, I got a few reviews for this game, but first thing I want to say, I'm surprised that the Memphis Showboats was the worst team in this league. Like, they looked so bad out there. On paper, when the year started, I thought they was going to at least be all right, and plus, Coach Filippo, you feel me, the head coach, I think he had coached the New Orleans Breakers last year, and it was pretty decent. So I don't know what happened, man. Well, the main thing is they can't block nobody. The offensive line is horrible. They trash. They got to redo it, man. You got to find somebody and look into that free agency or one of the little, I guess the UFL draft. I think that's how they're going to do it, and the little scouting thing that they do. You better look hard and try to find your best to get some O-linemen to protect whoever your quarterback going to be. Because ain't no telling if it's going to be Troy Williams or Case Cook. Because if I was them two, I'd be hiding from y'all team. Because you're not going to get protected by that O-line. But Renegades took control from the start, man. They was passing the ball mostly on the up and down the field, and like I said earlier, they was able to run the ball finally, and that's why they put up so many points. 47 on Memphis head. Total yards, Renegades had 415 total yards of offense, 309 passing, 106 rushing. Renegades also had 16 points off of the Showboats turnovers. That's how you get it done. That's how you make it count when you get that ball from the other team, from the opposing team. Let's say it like that. That's how you make it count, baby. And Showboat still couldn't protect quarterback. Gave up 4 sacks, man, on the day. Shout out to the Arlington Renegades for getting y'all first W. I don't know why I'm so tongue-tied right now. I don't know what's going on. But to that next game, we got the big game of the week. You feel me? The matchup everybody wanted to see. We got the undefeated Birmingham Stallions beating the St. Louis Battlehawks 30-26. So, what I want to say about this game, man, it was as advertised, you feel me? They gave the fans what they wanted to see. It was a back and forth matchup. And St. Louis Battlehawks got a couple lucky breaks with some unusual and unfamiliar, you feel, uncharacteristic mistakes that the Birmingham Stallions did. They had muffled punt, and I can't remember. There's another way they turned over the ball also. I can't exactly remember the play. But passing leaders for the Birmingham Stallions, we got my boy Adrian Martinez, 21 for 33, 230 yards passing with 3 tutties. Adrian Martinez looks better and better each week with his passing game. I like the way the young man developing. The shot to Skip Holtz. It seemed like every quarterback he touched in this spring league, he got them doing their thing. The Birmingham Stallions out there looking like the Alabama Crimson Tide. These guys haven't lost a game in a whole year. And since the program has started again, I want to say in the last 3 years, they only lost like 3 games, I want to say, in franchise history in the last 3 years. So shout out to the Birmingham Stallions, shout out to Skip Holtz for running that program the way he ran it. And A.J. McCarron, man, 19 for 32, 161 yards and 1 touchdown for the St. Louis Battlehawks. A.J. McCarron, you feel me? A.J., I don't know how to say. I guess Birmingham did a great job of not allowing him and Hakeem Butler to, you feel me, hook up as much as they usually do. And when they did hook up, they only limited them to like one big play that Hakeem Butler had. But other than that, they kept that thing under wraps for the most part. And they ain't really let too much stuff go over their head. And they ain't let the St. Louis Battlehawks passing game dominate them like they would do other teams. So next game, well, if y'all ever do see each other again, because the only way y'all would be in a championship game. So if that happens, St. Louis, if y'all see the Birmingham Stallions again, you gotta tighten up, man. You better come with a different game plan. Cause just coming out there trying to think you're gonna air it out, it ain't gonna work. You gotta run the ball. You gotta get them dogs off because Birmingham Stallions is bringing that pressure. And with that being said, we got the rushing leaders for the game. That boy Adrian Martinez back again, leading the Birmingham Stallions. Hey, he's a running quarterback. He do it all. 7 attempts, 60 yards. Rushing leaders for the St. Louis Battlehawks. Jacob Sayers, 10 attempts, 38 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Way to go, Jacob Sayers, you feel me? Even though y'all couldn't get it done, but every time you had a chance to make it count, you made it count. Through the passing game or through the ground, you feel me? You was doing whatever you could do to get that thing in the end zone. But it wasn't enough, man. Birmingham Stallions, they just like that. They dang near like an NFL team in the spring league. They just built different, you feel me? Shout out to Skip Holtz. Receiving leaders, that boy Marlon Williams back again with 4 receptions, 41 yards and a tutty. Before I go on to the next guy, because I feel like the Stallions receiving core is like a cheat code. All them boys is making plays from Deion Kane to Marlon Williams to Kevin Austin Jr. All them boys doing their thing, especially that Marlon Williams, man. That man is a dog. He's making plays week in and week out constantly. You feel me? Coming through for the Birmingham Stallions. So if I'm any other opposing team, I'm keying in on Marlon Williams, definitely. And we got that boy Kevin Austin Jr. also for the Birmingham Stallions with 3 receptions, 59 yards, and a touchdown. Kevin Austin Jr. fast, man. The man caught, I want to say, a 15-yard pass and broke that thing for like 40 yards to the house. Outran everybody. And receiving leaders for the St. Louis Battlehawks, we got my boy Hakeem Butler, 7 receptions, 89 yards. Like I said, Birmingham Stallions kept him really under control for the most part, and let them get no big play yards and let him go for over 100 yards receiving and not like that crazy. But defensive leaders for the Birmingham Stallions, we got my boy Kavai Tizino. Hopefully I said that my man name right, because I be butchering names sometimes. Number 31 linebacker for the Birmingham Stallions. 7 tackles, 1 PBU. I know his last name Tizino. First name, I want to say Kavai, you feel me? But hey, I could be wrong. Number 32, A.J. Thomas for the Birmingham Stallions had 6 tackles, 1 interception, and 1 PBU. Boom. St. Louis Battlehawks defensive leaders. We got Quinterio Cole, number 32, with 12 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 PBU. And that boy linebacker for the St. Louis Battlehawks, number 51, Mr. Willie Harvey. He been balling this hard out lately. My boy had 10 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, 1 PBU, and 1 forced fumble. Way to go, Mr. Willie Harvey. Get a water break, you feel me? Because my boy, I be doing this one, you feel me? Because I have a lot to go. Football, they're basketball. Because, basketball, they playing both. One player playing offense and defense, you feel me? We got to switch it up with the foosball, you feel me? But reviews for their game. Stallions had 349 total yards for offense, 205 passing, 144 rushing. Feel me? Stallions did whatever they wanted to do for the most part. They looked fluent. They looked like they had control over the game. Passing, running, it ain't matter. The Stallions was getting it done. You feel me? This game. Who will beat the Stallions, man? They just giddying up and over everybody, you feel me? Giddy up, all over every team in this spring football league. One of the most dominant spring football teams we have seen since spring football have started back. But Stallions also held the Battlehawks to 64 yards rushing on the day. They stopped the run too, you feel me? Either they stopped the run or the Battlehawks just gave up on even trying to run the ball. Maybe. Because, Battlehawks is real dependent on the pass. The only way they'll run the ball if they see the running back breaking a lot. But sometimes, you got to try it. You feel me? Especially on first and second down, you feel me? See what you can do on the ground. See if you can make it a third down easy. And Battlehawks was 4-12 on third down. You feel me? They couldn't convert when it counted the most. That's why I say, maybe y'all would have ran the ball a little more. Maybe some of them third down conversions would have been a little easier, because the Stallions are going to bring that pressure every single time, especially if you third and long. If you 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10, 3rd and plus, the Stallions are coming. You better believe that. And the Stallions was 7-11 on third down. 7-11. That's all you need sometimes, if you know what I mean. But next game up, we got the Michigan Panthers defeating the DC Defenders 22-9. Now I heard, you feel me, DC Defenders defensive coordinator was talking trash, I want to say, during the off season, because each team had little scrimmages. You feel me? DC scrimmaged on Michigan Panthers, and apparently DC had whooped Michigan Panthers real bad in the scrimmage. And defensive coordinator came back talking trash. How he was saying, "Oh, these guys ain't nothing during the season. We gonna whoop them all this, that, and the third." But I guess he got fooled, thinking that the Michigan Panthers was going to show them their entire offensive scheme during a scrimmage game. I guess he got fooled thinking that those were the starters for the Michigan Panthers during the offseason, during the scrimmage game. I guess he got fooled and didn't understand that all the Michigan Panthers did was put some guys that they wanted to see if they wanted to sign to the team or cut against them. So I guess he got confused. So shout out to the Michigan Panthers for spanking that butt and putting some respect on their name. Passing leader for the Michigan Panthers. Yes, this name is right. Bryce Perkins from Virginia. Y'all Virginia fans, y'all know him. Quarterback from Virginia. College, that is. You feel me? I ain't gonna say he's born and raised, but where he went to college at and played football at in college, where people may know him from. Bryce Perkins went 11 for 13, 116 yards. Mind you, Bryce Perkins was looking good out there. He was just sharing reps with another quarterback. I should have got y'all the other quarterback name. That was my bad on that. That was my bad on my part. Passing leader for the DC Defenders, we got my boy Jordan Tayomu, went 10 for 14, 127 yards and 1 touchdown. And I want to say Jordan Tayomu went down in the third or fourth quarter. You feel me? He had went out. Rushing leader, my boy Matthew Colburn II was out there toting that rock. 16 attempts, 137 yards. Way to run that thing. Michigan really running that ball all day. I love when Michigan block like this because the running game looks so beautiful when they come and play and come and block. Each game they won, they was able to run the ball efficiently. West Hill also had 10 tips, 37 yards, and 1 TD. The rushing leader for the DC Defender is a wide receiver. It was a reverse play, I want to say. 1 attempt, 28 yards. Kiki Cootie. Kiki Cootie, what a name. Receiving leaders, Samson Nakue, 6 receptions, 45 yards for the Michigan Panthers. And for the DC Defenders receiving leader, we got Kelvin Hartman, 6 receptions, 37 yards. And that boy Ty Scott, 2 receptions, 87 yards in the tucket. Yeah, that boy Ty Scott caught 1 pass, and I want to say he broke for about 70 yards. Took that thing to the his all. See y'all. Defensive leaders, we got my boy Kai Nakue with 8 tackles, number 20 for the Michigan Panthers, and Nate Brooks with 5 tackles, number 3 for the Michigan Panthers. DC Defenders defensive leaders, we got DeAndre Baker, number 25 with 6 tackles, 1 PBU, and Niles Scott, number 90 with 6 tackles. Reviews for this game: Panthers had 332 yards of total offense, 145 passing, 187 rushing. Told y'all the Panthers was out there toting that rock, running that thing. Panthers had 18 first down to DC 9. Panthers also played some good defense, man. They ain't let DC get in the rhythm in their offense. Their offense really looked out of sync the whole game, other than the big passing play that they had got for a touchdown. But really, DC couldn't score. They didn't score in the second nor the third quarter. So I like to see that kind of defense, Michigan Panthers. And Panthers left the game with 7 tackles for loss and 3 sacks. I told you, man, Panthers out there D'ing that thing up, getting busy on D, locking that stuff down. It's going to be real interesting. I think the Panthers also clinched the playoff spot with this victory. But with that being said, moving on to the next game, the last game, the game I told you that probably would have put most of y'all to sleep if y'all would have watched it. And that is the San Antonio Brahmas defeating the Houston Roughnecks 15-12. Passing leaders Quentin Dormany for the San Antonio Brahmas went 10 for 24, 142 passing yards. Before I start talking about anything else, I'm going to just say Quentin Dormany was playing like pure trash out there. He connected here and there, but for the most part, he just looked it confused, out of sync with his receivers, and just looked it bad. And mind you, before the season started, I was looking like, dang, I thought Quentin Dormany was a nice pickup for the Brahmas because he had some pretty good games when he was on Orlando Guardians, you feel me, when they was in Orlando in the XFL league. But since he been out here with the San Antonio Brahmas, he have not looked that good. They really should have started on Kevin Hogan, you feel me? They should have started him because he looked pretty decent when he did come out there. He didn't get that much burn because he came in the fourth. He was 5 for 7, 38 yards, and I want to say he completed like 60-something% of his passes. But San Antonio Brahmas, Y'all got a bench on Quentin Dormany and go ahead and go with Kevin Hogan. He got a lot of NFL experience too. I don't know how many games he played in the NFL, but I know he practiced a lot in the NFL, so that gotta mean something. Starting quarterback for the Houston Roughnecks, Garrett Garantino. Excuse me. Garrett Garantino. 11 for 18, 121 yards. Really, I feel like Houston should have just went on ahead and started re-sending it. Because Garrett Garantino, his wrist was down there broke. He was still out there trying to play. Sometimes you got to save a player from themselves. You can't let this man go out here playing hurt. And I feel like that kind of cost y'all the game because he really couldn't throw the ball how he wanted to. He had a few passes that looked pretty, but when he tried to run that thing, you can see he ain't really want to stick his hand out there to protect this, you feel me? Stiff arm nobody enough to protect the rock because his wrist was broke. So why not start re-sending it? You feel me? You got a healthy quarterback. He got some kind of chemistry with the wide receivers that he been playing the last couple of weeks. You might as well play it re-sending. The defense was playing lights out also. So you might as well just went with the guy that you was already rocking with and then worked in Garrett Garantino throughout the game if you wanted to play him, which I don't see why if his wrist was messed up the way it was messed up. But rushing leader, we got my boy John Lovett, 18 attempts, 37 yards, and a touchdown. And rushing leaders for the Houston Roughnecks, we got Mark Thompson, 9 attempts, 38 yards. Yeah, man, wasn't nobody able to run the ball. Both teams was playing hard-nosed defense when it came to the rushing defense. They was shutting that shit down. Wasn't nobody able to run the ball like that. You had a couple of big runs here and there, but they wasn't really that big. They was about 10, 15 yards at best. But receiving leaders for the San Antonio Brahmas, we got Landon Akers with 3 receptions, 72 yards. And for the Houston Roughnecks, we got that boy Justin Hall with 5 receptions and 69 yards. Defensive leaders for the San Antonio Brahmas, we got that boy Jordan Mosley, Mr. Tackle Machine, number 23, 10 tackles and a half a sack. We got that boy Tavante Beckett, number 11 for the San Antonio Brahmas, linebacker, 9 tackles, 1.5 sack, and 2 tackles for loss. And for the Houston Roughnecks, we got that boy JT Tyler, number 33 with 9 tackles, and Marvin Moody, 9 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 PBU. Reviews for this game, like I say, it was the most boring game of the week. You feel me? They was tied up at 3 all the way up until the third quarter. So that's what I'm telling you. It was not much action. I want to say San Antonio Brahmas scored late in the fourth and then got the 2-point conversion and then later on kicked the field goal to go ahead and win the game. So they didn't want no overtime. But Brahmas had 241 yards of total offense, 168 yards passing, and 73 rushing. Roughnecks was hurting themselves with 9 penalties for 41 yards. I don't see how you're going to win the game with all those penalties. You should have started a healthier quarterback also. You shouldn't have had Garrett Garantino out there with a broken wrist. That ain't make no sense. He's a quarterback. And I don't even know if it was his throwing arm or not, but either way it goes, you feel me? That's uncomfortable out there playing with a damn broken wrist. He trying to be a tough guy, but at the end of the day, I really think it hurt the team. And Brahmas also played great defense, had 8 tackles for loss and 6 sacks. They was on Garrett Garantino's ass. The man was already hurt. He ain't doing no other favor having him out there getting sacked 6 damn times. What the offensive line was doing, who knows? But we got stat leaders for week 7. For offensive passing, we got Luis Perez with 1,626 passing yards for the Arlington Renegades. Rushing leader, we got that boy Adrian Martinez, 387 yards, filming for the Birmingham Stallions. And last but not least, receiving leader Hakeem Butler, 567 yards for the St. Louis Battlehawks. Defensive leaders, we got that boy Jordan Mosley, tackle machine with 58 tackles on the year for the San Antonio Brahmas. Sack leader, back again, you feel me? This no main move. I guess can't nobody else catch him. Carlos Davis with 6 sacks for the Birmingham Stallions. And last but not least, the interception leader, my boy Kai Nakua. I I've been saying Nakua all these weeks, and the man named pronounced Nakua with 3 interceptions for the Michigan Panthers. Weekend slate. We got some more good games coming up, man. We're gonna see who's gonna move up and down in these power rankings. But before I get to that, tell y'all this weekend slate. First game up for the Saturday. Memphis Showboats going against the Michigan Panthers. 4 o'clock Eastern time on Fox. I feel like the Michigan Panthers should get that W. Go ahead and just run the ball, because Memphis Showboats is not going to be able to stop y'all. So just run that thing, and start Bryce Perkins and let him play the whole game. And let's see how he look out there, because he was looking good in the last matchup. Next game up for Saturday, we got the Houston Roughnecks versus the Birmingham Stallions. 8 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN2. For the Sunday matchup, we got DC Defenders versus the St. Louis Battlehawks, 12 p.m. Eastern time on ABC. And last but not least, the Arlington Renegades versus the San Antonio Brahmas, 4 p.m. Eastern time on Fox. One thing I'm going to say, I don't even think I picked the other 2 games. Well, for the Birmingham Stallions and Houston Roughnecks, you already know I'm picking Birmingham. If they undefeated, I don't see Houston Roughnecks defeating them. For the St. Louis Battlehawks and DC Defenders, give me the Battlehawks. Call is law. And like I said, last but not least, with Arlington Renegades, San Antonio Brahmas, I'm going out on a limb, and I'm picking the Arlington Renegades to beat the San Antonio Brahmas for the last game on Sunday. And now we finna pull up with them power rankings. Now this week power rankings, I don't agree with all the way. But when I come to it, I'm going to tell you, well, number one, we already know the undefeated team, the best team running, been doing this thing year in and year out. We got the Birmingham Stallions, you feel me, coming in at number one. But number 2 is interesting to me, you feel me? They got the Michigan Panthers at number 2 this week. I don't kind of like that much. I still feel like it should be the St. Louis Battlehawks, because they lost to the best team. They lost to an undefeated team. And mind you, they played a good game. They ain't even lose by that many points. So I feel like they should have still been at number 2. But when the St. Louis Battlehawks and Michigan Panthers, I think they play each other again. If they play each other again, I feel like that'll prove really the number 2 team. Because I feel like it's St. Louis. But with that being said, at number 3, we got the St. Louis Battlehawks. Number 4, we got the DC Defenders, which, I don't know how I feel about them being over San Antonio Brahmas. Maybe we'll see how my boy Hogan looked when he started at quarterback for the San Antonio Brahmas. Maybe their offense a little better. But maybe they did get it right with DC being number 4. But the way DC offense looked it against Michigan Panthers, me personally, I would have kept the San Antonio Brahmas at 4. But with that being said, at 5, we got the San Antonio Brahmas. At 6, we got the Houston Roughnecks. And at 7, we got the Arlington Renegades, which they deserve to be above the last team, the Memphis Showboats. Because the Memphis Showboats, I've been telling y'all, they're the worst team in the league. And I ain't see no progression all year. But with that being said, you just talk sports with your boy DP. Y'all tune in to the UFL, man. There's some more games this weekend. I just gave you the game. I just told you the time, and I told you where to watch them. So it shouldn't be no reason why you don't tune in unless you got something to do, unless you're chilling with your family. But if not, go to the game if you're in the area, and tune in if you at the crib. So with that being said, like, share, subscribe, and your boy is out. You feel me? So you don't want to just go off? God, dog. Deuces, man.